Welcome back. Now we are back for some VGC action going on. It's actually the top cut for 32 best players here at the German and Austrian national championships. But before we go into the action, I have one more announcement to make for all the trading card game players and fans out there. The TCG senior finals will not be played. The reason for this is one of the players is already qualified for the World Cup and he's going to Boston. And therefore, he gave up the chance of another number one spot here, so that the other player is also qualifying himself for the Worlds in Boston. So who would blame them? Both are now guaranteed to go to Boston. I think that's a fair move. So we won't see that final, but we will see some VGC action right now.
Yeah, we are going to see a battle between Adrian Baumann and Naomi Fluckinger. Naomi is going to be on the capture card, and she is going to use a team of some potentially mega Pokemon. We are going to see a Metagross, a Venusaur, a Sharpedo, a Rotom Heat, a Clefable, and a Thundurus Therian. We have not seen a Sharpedo yet, and it may be even Mega Sharpedo with a super speedy ability in Speed Boost, which allows you to gain speed every round. And on the other side, we are going to see a team consisting of Kangaskhan, Zapdos, Amoonguss, Arcanine,
which is Arcanine, yep.
Arcanine, yeah, Scizor, and a Milotic. And this is, well, pretty balanced team, pretty safe team to bring, settled around Kangaskhan with the support from competitive Milotic, which makes bringing Pokemon like Landorus Therian pretty tough, because the Intimidate will trigger its ability and boost its special attack at +2. Arcanine is probably going to be some supportive Pokemon. It's able to Will-O-Wisp, it's able to Snarl. We are going to see what happens here. And on the other side, Metagross, Venusaur, Clefable, Rotom Heat, Thundurus Therian, and Sharpedo seems like a pretty balanced team as well, with a super bulky Venusaur, probably Mega because there is no Sun in this team. Metagross, which can be Mega, but I've never ever seen 3 Mega Pokemon on one team. So maybe Metagross or Sharpedo is probably the Mega. Clefable, which we haven't seen on screen yet, is a cool redirection one, using the move Follow Me to draw in attacks by the opposing Pokemon. A Rotom Heat is a cool choice against the likes of Talonflame. And Thundurus Therian is actually oftentimes used just to take advantage of Thundurus' normal form and incoming Thunder Waves, though it gains back HP, and it probably is going to be a switch in for electric attacks aimed at Sharpedo. The other team is probably Kangaskhan. Zapdos could support the Kangaskhan with potentially Tailwind, so a typical lead could be some Fake Out from Kangaskhan plus Tailwind from Zapdos, doubling up the speed. And here we go right into team preview. Euler is Adrian. He's pretty well known amongst the German community. At the Bisa board, he is pretty well known. So is Naomi. She's called Aquana at the Bisa board. We have seen the Bisa cast today, which was pretty awesome. And I bet there are some Bisa board players out there at the stream watching their fellow Bisa board guys playing at the top 32 to compete at the national championships.
Yeah, I noticed that she even brought her little Vaporeon onto the table, maybe a little bit of a luck charm, but it looked very nice. I'm sure that is one stuffed animal out of the Pokemon Center in Japan. It just looks amazing.
Have you ever been to a Pokemon Center in Japan?
I was actually in Osaka and also in Tokyo, and I can recommend to anyone who is considering going to Japan, just make sure to take on all the Pokemon Centers in Japan. It's always worthwhile a visit.
Oh, so the match starts. They didn't take the whole time. I guess we are going to see some standard Kangaskhan Zapdos, a Kangaskhan Arcanine lead on the side from Adrian.
And here we go. We see a Milotic and a Kangaskhan. And Naomi is countering that with a Venusaur and also a Rotom Heat.
That's a pretty tough matchup. I don't know why Adrian brought Milotic, because Naomi got 2 electric types and a Venusaur and a Clefable. It only walls Sharpedo and it kind of walls Metagross if it's heavily trained into defense. But there is no Intimidate on her side, so it can't trigger the ability.
Now we see the Mega Evolution for Kangaskhan, and also Venusaur is following suit, using that Venusaur Knight to evolve into Mega Venusaur, while Rotom is trying to protect itself.
Potentially just avoiding the fake out and the loss of a turn by getting flinched from the fake out. And Adrian, this is a really huge move. He predicts the double protect and power up punches into his own Milotic, which brings...
What a move.
Really great move, which brings his Kangaskhan onto +2 attack.
Fantastic read.
And he's now able to, I guess, he's able to one-shot both Pokemon. Depends on the splits, that depends on how they are trained, but let's have a look. And now the matchup is heavily favored for Adrian.
Now is this already the answer on the question why he did bring the Milotic?
Well, they could have done the same play also with, like, let's say Zapdos or Arcani if Naomi wants to avoid it. It's a pretty cool move. Good players oftentimes predict that double protect and power up punch into their own Pokemon to get to +2 attack, and that oftentimes seals the deal early on. And we are going to see probably some Steel type fishing. Yeah, here it goes. Metagross tries to take the return. I don't know if this was a good play or if there could have been some better play, because I guess
there's
it will...
the return going out for the Rotom. He doesn't even need to go into the second attack. Rotom is going down immediately.
The baby
and Milotic using the Scald right onto that Metagross. See if he's getting the burn.
Oh,
it's another burn on that Metagross. And now Adrian is in a commanding position to win this first game.
Oh yeah, what a position. It's really hard for Naomi to come back. She got a Mega Venusaur on the back, which is pretty bulky. I guess it is heavily trained into defense, but let's have a look how it will stand the attacks of Kangaskhan and Milotic. Metagross is burned. Metagrosses are mostly physically based and trained into physical attack. So the burn hurts a lot since it cuts your attack stat by half. And it can't touch the Milotic. It almost has to attack the Kangaskhan. But that spot is hard to recover from for Naomi.
Now Kangaskhan is going for the Sucker Punch, predicting an attack from Metagross, and it's going to KO it. Now that's a tough break for Naomi. How is she going to recover from that? Metagross goes down now.
Oh, a Leaf Storm. We see a Leaf Storm probably one-shotting.
Yes, Milotic goes down and Naomi is getting her first shot, and Adrian using this critical hit to bring down that Milotic.
Now she got a Venusaur at -2 special attack.
And for Adrian now in play is the Arcanine, which will intimidate, and so will the Landorus.
I don't know why she didn't bring that Landorus early on into the match, because she could have tried to intimidate the Kangaskhan several times to lower the attack of the Kangaskhan, which would not be able to one-shot either Pokemon of Naomi. Maybe she's a little bit nervous.
So Kangaskhan is trying to protect itself here.
Oh, this is a really big information for us, because Kangaskhan's usually do not have Fake Out and Protect. So this is a Power Up Punch Protect version, and now Naomi should know that this Kangaskhan doesn't have Fake Out, and she will not do the same double Protect play in the first turn if Adrian is going to lead with Kangaskhan again.
And now that Landorus crippled by the Will-O-Wisp from Arcanine connecting with it. And Naomi is just in a very, very tough situation right here.
So we see the Will-O-Wisp from Arcanine, and it's probably a support version. Support versions oftentimes also carry Snarl next to Will-O-Wisp, which is able to lower the special attack of both Pokemon on the opponent's field, and therefore it can lower the attack stat by Intimidate and Will-O-Wisp, and the special attack stat by with Snarl.
Oh, look
Or
at
the
this
Venusaur
strong
leaves it.
return. Venusaur hanging on just barely, but now Arcanine is bringing down that Venusaur, and all what's left is that Landorus, which is burned, and we just saw that the Rock Slide is not doing too much damage to Kangaskhan and Arcanine. I think this game is all but over.
This game is really over, and what I'm thinking about is what is Naomi's plan for game 2? It's a pretty tough situation. She got the Metagross versus the Kangaskhan, but Kangaskhan got the super effective Sucker Punch. She got that Rotom Heat, which can potentially burn the Kangaskhan. She got a bulky Venusaur, probably. If it is really that bulky, I don't know, because Leaf Storm is kind of offensive route for Mega Venusaur. She got that redirection in Clefable. Maybe she's going to try to take advantage out of that redirection, and maybe we are going to see some tricks from Sharpedo as well. I've never seen a Sharpedo on screen yet.
Either way, it doesn't matter how the next game will end. Just for your information, don't go anywhere once this match ended, because right after this match we will have the VGC Seniors final coming up. So the best players from the Seniors division will battle it out after the top 32 are finished.
Just stay seated as we do. Better fetch something to drink, maybe some popcorn, and watch the show going on. I'm really looking forward. I guess we will see a second Kangaskhan lead, probably with Amoonguss or something, redirection, so that Naomi can just superpower the Kangaskhan. Or maybe just the same leads. If you win the first best of 3 game pretty decently, like Adrian did, there is almost no reason that he should change his lead. They worked out, but the trick with the self-power up punch should not work again if Naomi is thinking the same way.
Again, Naomi and Adrian were quick to choose their Pokemon, and this time it's Arcanine and Milotic going at it, and obviously a change in strategy. Now we have Sharpedo and also Clefable active for Naomi, and the Intimidate working from Arcanine, obviously.
I'm really looking forward to see that Sharpedo in action, and I'm really wondering why Adrian is still bringing the Milotic. Maybe he's a little addicted to Milotic, but there is... Oh, I just realized I got on the team sheet a Thunderous Therian, and talked about Thunderous Therian, and actually we just saw Landorus Therian. Sorry, my fault on that side. She is using a Landorus Therian and not a Thunderous Therian.
Arcanine, threatened by that Sharpedo, is going back into its Pokeball and is replaced by that Amoonguss. And Sharpedo is also afraid of an attack coming its way, so it's going to protect itself. But an Icy Wind from Milotic, at least connecting with that Clefable, lowering its speed.
Well, this is a pretty tough spot now.
Clefable going in on the offensive side, not dealing too much damage, but it gets the special attack drop. But at the same time, now Milotic is increasing the special attack heavily with its ability.
It's a pretty tough spot now for both players. We see 2 Water-type Pokemons with redirection next to it. Sharpedo is not going to do much in this matchup. Neither is Clefable. Both can't damage the opponent's team, really. Clefable can touch Amoonguss. Clefable can touch Milotic. But what happens, we have seen what happens if there is a S-attack drop. Sharpedo is not going to damage anything. And Adrian is, I guess he's still playing it conservative, trying to do damage where he's able to and avoiding every damage he can take. But this is not a threatening board we are seeing for him, and I think he got the... He's in the leading position right now. And
now finally Sharpedo revealing its real power, Mega Evolving right now. And Clefable is helping it for its next attack. And it's going to be Crunch and is connecting with Milotic. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. Not too much. It's responding with Icy Wind, and again now lowering the speed of both Sharpedo and Clefable. And let's see what Amoonguss is going to do.
Probably some Spore. Yeah, here we go. Oh, and we saw the safety goggles, which makes Spore useless to Clefable.
Well done by Naomi. Good choice of tools.
Good team building, yeah. But I bet she hoped that the helping hand boosted crunch is going to take out the Milotic. Sharpedo is at -1 attack and a -1 speed right now. It's not able to grab any speed boosts in future rounds because it already mega evolved and got its new ability, which strengthens bite attacks like Crunch and Ice Fang. I don't know if she even carries. I see on the team sheet she's carrying Ice Beam.
Now Milotic is trying to protect itself, and Clefable using the spotlight. Follow me. And another crunch, but Milotic is protecting itself, and now Amoonguss using the poison attack, which is very effective to Clefable, dealing a lot of damage.
That is a really tough spot for
Good move
Naomi.
from Adrian.
Really good move, right. That Clefable actually wanted to eat up that Spore again, aiming at the Sharpedo, but instead Adrian predicted that and sludge bombed the Clefable spot, which is now open for a KO from the Amoonguss side. I'm really looking forward how Naomi is trying to recover from this matchup right now. She's in a pretty tough situation with that Mega Sharpedo not doing that much work, with that Clefable being able to redirect attacks at it, but there is always the fear from the sludge bomb from Amoonguss side.
Now Milotic fearing another crunch coming its way, so it's going to be replaced by Arcanine, which instead is going to lower the attack of both Sharpedo and Clefable, using its Intimidate. And Clefable again helping that Sharpedo to do some more damage. It's using that crunch into that former Milotic slot onto Arcanine and lowering its defense.
Oh, and we see the Rocky Helmet damage from Arcanine, so we know it's pretty supportive. Oh, and here we see a knockout. Clefable got knocked out by the second sludge bomb from Amoonguss.
Landorus taking Clefable's space, also using Intimidate.
Is Naomi actually carrying any levitating or flying Pokemon in the back? Maybe if yes, it would be cool to see an Earthquake coming from a Landorus. Earthquake is actually an attack that is pretty less used on Landorus because they are all going for Rock Slide, Superpower, U-turn. We never seen Earthquake yet on the stream.
Arcanine is not having any of it and returning to Adrian, and here's the first Rock Slide, maybe of a lot of Rock Slides coming up, and it's a wasted turn for that Sharpedo again, as it's using that Ice Beam on the protected Amoonguss.
Julian, where's a Rock Slide? There's a way. We have seen it several times on the screen. Rock Slide can really turn a match around if it gets the flinches, if it flinches the Pokemon, it needs to flinch. If it hits every time, we've seen Bill on the stream, who just made his way back with 3 Rock Slide flinches in a row. Let's see what happens in this round.
More coming up. We have Sharpedo using that Ice Beam. Now it connects with Amoonguss. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. It's very effective, and it's even a critical hit. And Milotic recovering a lot of the damage dealt to it. Half of the health. Oh, and now the Spore, it's connecting with Landorus. This might be important. No more Rock Slides coming up anytime soon.
Milotic is at a pretty good health right now. Sharpedo might Ice Beam into that Amoonguss slot, but there's still Arcanine in the back, which can always switch into that slot, intimidate the Sharpedo and Landorus again, making the damage output pretty low, and therefore Adrian is in a really leading spot right now. It's pretty hard for Naomi to come back from this situation. 1 Pokemon sleeping, Sharpedo intimidated several times, 1 Pokemon knocked out already.
It's a rough day in the office for Sharpedo so far. Whatever it's done so far, the damage has always been recovered by both Milotic and Amoonguss. Now it's protecting itself, so does Amoonguss. Obviously, Landorus is continuing its little nap here, and Milotic using that icy wind, connecting with Landorus. Let's see how much damage it's going to take. Approximately half, obviously also lowering its speed.
That Landorus is heavily trained into either special defense or HP, standing that icy wind, that respectable. We respect. I don't see that Lander. I don't see the Landorus on the. Oh, it's not a Assault Vest. Assault Vest Landorus is also a pretty cool item to have on it because it gets the bulk from Intimidate and it gets the special bulk from the item, which is really cool. And most people assume just a choice scarf, and here we see.
Oh, another critical hit now. Sharpedo finally turning the luck around, getting a critical hit on this Amoonguss, getting the knockout. Landorus continues to sleep, and the Skull coming its way. It's going to be super effective and most likely not able to stand it. It's a KO. Another critical hit, but maybe didn't matter.
A lot of crits in these matches, but I don't think it did really matter because I do not see an Assault Vest on the team sheet.
And I have to admit that Milotic is doing quite some work for Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that Milotic is in such a good matchup.
And now Naomi wishes that Rotom was maybe a Rotom Wash, but now the Rotom Heat is coming out. Arcanine lowering the attack of both Sharpedo and Rotom. It's getting rougher and rougher for that Sharpedo.
Sharpedo can't deal that much damage anymore. It has to hope for a crit. A critical hit ignores stat changes like from Intimidate, and therefore probably a Waterfall would be able to KO that Arcanine. And she's going for it.
The Waterfall going to connect with that Arcanine. How much damage is it going to do? Not well, not too much. And Sharpedo taking some damage from that Rocky Helmet. And Arcanine now for another crippling blow for Sharpedo. It's not going well for it. It's a Will-O-Wisp. It's now burned. And here's going to be the Thunderbolt. It's enough for the knockout for Arcanine. So Naomi got something going for her in this turn.
She's trying really hard. She's trying to make the best out of the matchup. Maybe she can make a comeback. The Sharpedo is just there for Ice Beaming and potentially flinching from Waterfalls. It's almost the same like from Landorus Terran.
But look at what Adrian brings from his bench. It's a Kangaskhan completely healthy. Another Milotic sitting there with almost all of its health. It's going to be tough for Rotom and Sharpedo to make a comeback from this position.
She could actually try to freeze the Kangaskhan with Ice Beam. That would be one option for her.
While Kangaskhan is going for the obvious Mega Evolution, who wouldn't do that at this point?
I guess he's probably going for the Power-Up Punch.
Sharpedo, first of all, protecting to see what Kangaskhan is going to do. And a return coming from that Kangaskhan into the unprotected Rotom.
We see the Citrus Berry.
And a second hit coming from Kangaskhan again. Bringing it down to, oh, it has to be another, wasn't it a critical hit? No.
No.
Bringing it down to, oh, there's a Will-O-Wisp, crippling that Kangaskhan. Very important move, but let's see what Milotic is doing. With his Scald, is that enough to bring down that Rotom?
Oh,
yeah, Rotom goes down, and now there's only one Pokemon left for Naomi.
That's pretty much game. It's hard for that Burn Sharpedo. I guess it's not even possible to win it anymore. It can't do any damage anymore to that Milotic. It can freeze it, yeah, but there's a timer on it. It's like 3 rounds left for it on the field, and then it will faint due to the burn damage. It was a pretty cool battle. We just saw 2 really good trainers.
Probably Kangaskhan is going to end it with a Sucker Punch here, but no, Sharpedo is going to use one more Ice Beam, not even able to freeze that Kangaskhan.
Oh, and that's kind of, I don't know if he predicted or if he already realized that he have won anyhow.
He predicted maybe a Protect from that Sharpedo. Yeah. Either way, it's going to be the end of Sharpedo with the additional burn damage, and that will be the game. It's a clean 2-0 victory for Adrian, who is proceeding to the top 16 of the VGC Masters here in Germany at the Nationals.
Congratulations, Adrian. It was really, really nice to see cool teams on the screen. I've never seen a Mega Sharpedo before on the screen. Really nice choice of Pokemon. I don't think many people expected a Mega Sharpedo to be the Mega of the team or to even be brought to the Pokemon National Championships. Let's have a look what we got next. I think we have the next game is going to be the final of our seniors division.
That's right, but it's going to take a couple of minutes. So until the VGC senior finals will start, we will have a very short break and come back with some amazing Pokemon action. Maybe the last Pokemon action tonight. We've seen a couple of hours of great Pokemon action, but now let's have another break and be right back in a couple of minutes.